Las Vegas market update, unexpected numbers revealed, and I did not see this coming. That's right, I did not expect one important number that we have on this report, and it's a big one, folks. So I'm going to go over that, and these are the numbers that I'm going to go over from Las Vegas Realtors. They put them out every month, and I like to, as soon as possible, get over here and let you know what I'm seeing with those numbers, what it means, and what is coming next. Maybe start predicting or prognosticating on what will happen for the next month's numbers, the month that we're in right now, June, of course. These numbers are from May, but we're going to look ahead to June as well, because I also have the numbers for the last 7 days, and that would not be in this report. You're not going to find this anywhere except right here. And these numbers tell us in real time what's going on, and there are some surprises to reveal here too. So stick with me on that. If you like numbers and you want to know where we are strong in Las Vegas and where we are weak, then this video is for you. Let's get it going, folks. I'm Rob Howe with Elite Realty, and now you know how to sell or buy your home in Las Vegas, Nevada. You spell my name HAU, houses and you, houses and you. That's what I'm all about, folks. So if you're looking for somebody to help you with that, I'm right here in front of you. You can get a hold of me anytime, knowhow.com. or all my info is in the description below. Thanks for watching. Let's jump into this video right away. I'm going to get right to these numbers that came out. They just came out for June, and it tells us where we're going. I want to dive in. I'm going to let you know what surprised me. Here we go. We have the market snapshot, and we're going to see how many units sold right now, 2,087 of them. That is down from the year prior, 13.1%. But here's the big surprise. That's the $480,000 median price. Okay, with everything that's been going on with inventory, I just was not expecting to see us hold firm on that median price. There is a good reason for it, though, and that's because there are so few sales that it doesn't take a lot to affect the sales and keep them propped up as far as the numbers are concerned. And that's what I think's happening. I think that we're still seeing when a property comes on and it's a good property and it's priced well, it is selling. Also, there's some back-end costs that sellers are providing buyers right now. So if you're a buyer watching this, you got to know that, yeah, you might still pay near the median or something, whatever your price is, but you can get a lot on the back end from a seller in many cases. So if the seller has a property priced well, but maybe not super deal land, you can go in and ask for some closing costs, and those closing costs will help you with your interest rate. If you want to do a buy down, it is better than getting the price reduced. In most cases, when you look at, if you're using a loan, it is better than getting the price reduced. It's very easy math there, because basically your interest rate, if you can pull it down a point or a point and a half or more because of closing costs that your seller gave to you, then now whatever the price is, yeah, okay, you could have gotten 15 grand off the price, but instead you built in that money that being paid to your closing costs and used it for your interest rate buy down. That saves you more money in the long run than what would have been the price off the price. Okay, so the number of closings was down 4% from the prior month. Again, we're slowing down. We're seeing that we're not getting as much activity, even though we're just exiting spring. That's usually we're going to see the median price go down. I think that will happen next month. Surprised it didn't this month, but it also speaks to how strong Las Vegas is. The number of new listings, this is where we have 191 new listings. That's minus 2%. That would be normal, because usually in the springtime, you're going to have the most amount of listings coming on, and then you're going to see a tapering as the year goes on, a little bit less, but still, it's still a pretty robust amount, especially when you consider the total availability on market. These are single family properties, 6,646 units. That's plus 7% from the month prior. So we're definitely seeing more inventory. That shouldn't be a surprise. And when you look at it from this point of view, the year prior, 71.8% more inventory than the year prior. I mean, that's the story. The inventory is always the story, right? It really does dictate what's happening. It says we have 3.2 months of supply in the single-family homes. That's plus 11.4% from the month prior. That's 97.6. 97.6 percent more from the year prior. I meant the month prior and then the year prior, right? Hopefully you're reading and keeping me on track here. Condos, townhomes. Condos went up by 1.4% on the median closing price there. Maybe not too much of a surprise. There's still condos. People, you got a nice one, a nice area. People are gravitating to those lower priced condos, and they are still selling at a good rate, although there is more inventory on the condos and townhomes than we've seen in a while, of course. Weirdly enough, we are down 19% versus the year prior on total number of closings, and still going up. It's going to change. We're going to see a change here somewhere along the lines. 4.5 months of inventory for the condos and townhomes. Definitely more than we've seen for a while there. You add them both together, the single family and condo townhomes, and you start to see that we have a fair amount for the buyer activity. We have a fair amount of listings there. So I think if you're a buyer, you really got to be looking right now to getting a deal, or at least, setting up your dominoes, because I don't think this is going to last forever. I don't see this trend going on, and I'm going to get into some numbers that help us understand how quickly are we seeing this inventory pile up. All right, I'm going to dive into the multi-view here that I use. On this, it tells me how many new listings in the last 70 days have been coming on. The last one update I did was that we had nearly 1,300 coming on. Or actually, no, I'm sorry, that was the one prior to that. We have been seeing less new listings coming on because the one prior to my last one was nearly 1,300. I think we were approaching 1,400 on market. There's a lot coming on a couple of weeks ago. Now, for the last couple of weeks, we've seen it just under 1,100, and that's probably good. We don't need to see continuing pileups. We're seeing, the back on market stays about the same, around that 200 or less, in the upper 100s area, but price decreases 1,201. Actually, a little less than we've been seeing on the price decreases, but still up there. You see it's in the red. That's a big number. Price increases, we're seeing for the first time, they're well over 100, and I'm telling you that the sellers have not felt that much confidence. There are reasons why people raise their price that doesn't have to do necessarily with the seller believing they can get a higher price. The fact that 179 people right now felt they could raise their price is interesting. We'll see if that trend continues. I don't think it will. I think we'll see that we'll see more price decreases by a whole lot. My TOM, as I call it, 10,235 listings. We were below 10,100 last week, and we have surged a little bit. I would still say it's not like crazy. What I am seeing is that we are not jumping as much as we were in the weeks prior. This would be a good sign to see some slowing of inventory coming on. It would also be a trend that you would naturally see after springtime. You don't have as much inventory coming on, and that's what we want to see. We want to see that we don't keep piling up, because you got to have some sales. You got to have sales keeping up. Otherwise, you're just going to pile up inventory. You're going to have some desperate sellers eventually that would really be knocking the prices down. Now, some of you might like that a lot, but let's look for healthy, balanced approach here. And I think the balanced approach is where we're at right now. It's not overwhelming, and it's also still creating opportunities, right? Just balancing out. As a matter of fact, I looked at another report, and it was like, is it a buyer's market or a seller's market? And it was like right in the middle. I still think it's weighed to a buyer's market for sure. It's just, the question some buyers ask, well, is it a buyer's market if the interest rates are high and the prices are still high? Well, that's just market conditions, and it doesn't mean that it's not a buyer's market. All right, I'm going to look at luxury. How much 1 million plus properties, we call those luxury properties. I think it's still worthy of calling it luxury, even though true luxury might be a little higher than that 1 million price tag. It might be approaching 2 million these days, but it's still pretty luxurious to be able to buy a property for a lot of people over $1 million. And we've got 1,249 of them, staying really, really consistent as luxury market has, although over the past several months we have seen more inventory for the luxury buyers. It's natural that if the rest of the market is piling up a little bit, you're going to see it happen in the luxury market, and that's why I pointed out. I just wanted to also point out what's going under contract. Well, in luxury, you have 181 properties under contract right now. That's it. 181, 1 million and plus properties under contract right now. You've got 1,249 of them on market, and only 181 of them are under contract. So again, if you're a seller, especially luxury market or not, you got to be smart about your pricing, because you want to be one of those 181, going under contract. You don't want to be the ones that are sitting on market. Some of these luxury properties will sit on market for a long time. Now we'll look at under 1 million properties. The price would be under 1 million. How many of those are under contract? We've got nearly 3,000, 2,944 properties, but still a similar ratio when you have over 10,000, and then you've got 3,000 that are under contract. So I just want to keep track of that, because if we start seeing that those numbers slim out even more, or if they start beefing up over time, then you know that you've got even more market change, and it would be pretty obvious. I do think that for sure, when we balance out, what we'll see is that we keep about where we are with how many listings. It's actually what we should be at if the market was more affordable for more people. And then you would see we would have more sales overall. We'd have more properties going under contract, just more moving and shaking. That would be a little bit more traditional than it has been for the last 5 years. I believe we're headed there. It's just how long it's going to take. The city has grown, and really it should have more turnover. We should have more sales going on. We start seeing lower rates sooner than later, right? That's what I'm hoping for, folks. I hope this video helps you out. I hope that you like the numbers that I'm showing you and what they mean for you, whether you're selling or buying a property. That's what this is all about for me. Again, I'm Rob Hau, and KNOWHau.com to get a hold of me anytime. I'm all about houses and you, so when you are ready, please make sure to get a hold of me. Subscribe to the channel, like, comment, let me know what you're thinking. I'd love to hear from you. And in the meantime, I just need you to do one more thing, and that's have a great day. Have a great week, everybody. I'll see you on the next video. Thanks a lot.